for the beauty that surrounds us. We're thankful to be able to serve, and we do it in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I invite you to join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we wish happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody. Have a lady in the back who's got a lot of green on, so we appreciate it. If you don't have green on, Patrick, that's very good.
Lots of people have
Patrick,
green on.
well, I'm kind of colorblind is the problem.
Oh, yeah.
I can see bright green, so anyway. Okay, I need a approval for tonight's meeting agenda. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting's agenda as written.
I'll second.
Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed. Okay, just a real quick, on the April 7th and the 21st is our regular meetings, work meeting at 5:30, and the agendas will be posted on the website on Friday. Is that right? And on April 21st, the same thing. So we have an opportunity for people to come and share their thoughts for 3 minutes with the City Council. It's not an opportunity for us to have a dialogue with you, but you're welcome to come up and share any thoughts or concerns that you have. And so is there anybody here that would like to come up and do it? Has to give a form that's filled out by Kim. It's out in the foyer. And if you haven't filled it out, we can certainly, when we get to a break in the agenda, we'll be happy to let you know. Is Demetrius June Castellazzo here? Very good. If you'd like to come up.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having the time. Just wanted to bring to the council's attention of a dangerous stretch of road down in my neighborhood here in Springville. Since I guess there's some agenda items on some roads construction going on. So I lived in Springville since 2021, down in Spring Canyon Parkway. As it transitions to 1000 South, there's a turn there, and over the past 3 years, there's been 3 car incidents. One incident involved a minor child riding a motorcycle, and he had to be sent to the hospital. In all 3 incidents, it's just all along as that turn comes around. I wrote to the Public Works Division and the Streets Department of that division. They said they're going to be looking into it, but I just wanted to bring it to the council's attention that there is that dangerous stretch of road. But yeah, so that's about it. I had sent a public comment form. There's some more details in there if you guys would peruse that. It's pretty short, sweet, to the point. Basically, you have a dangerous stretch of road. There's some stop signage there. Public Works did comment that they would be looking into additional precautions, be it speed bumps or things like that. So
just for clarification, what's the intersection?
So it's
10th South and
Spring Canyon Way as it transitions to 1000 South. I think the nearest cross street's 900 West and 1000, or actually Spring Canyon.
900 West. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a new development. I think Century Communities built that development, but that's pretty much. It's just that the road transitions to 1000 South, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay. I was on the east side, so thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll enter this also into the record for it. We appreciate you getting with the Public Works and also with the public safety. So is there anyone else that would like to? Okay, very good. Okay, very good. Janelle Reed. Come right up here to the podium. And you can take 3 minutes or so. Feel very at ease. This is terrible to sit in this rostrum, but she just wants you to take a deep breath and, right up there, up to the microphone. State your name and then state, I think your address. Is that right? No address. Okay, sounds good. All right.
Janelle Reed.
Very good.
And then just talk for a minute.
Absolutely. You got 3 minutes to tell us what's on your mind.
Thank you for letting me have a moment. Some of you probably got an email from me. I've lived in Springville for about 13 years now. My children have gone to Cherry Creek Elementary for the past 5 years, and hopefully we still have some more school years to go. And so I have just been wanting to find out who to reach out to share our experience and just be part of what I know are many concerned families who will be affected by the possible closure of Cherry Creek School or elementary school. And I sorry, I
totally
walked in the
okay.
door and I was
You're
like,
good.
oh, it's my turn.
You're good.
It's been a very helpful resource for us. My, children have utilized resources such as speech therapy and counseling services there. The culture at the school has been really positive, and whenever there's been concerns, we've been able to work through things as a community, and so I'm not sure if this is coming from the district side or the school district side or the city side, but I was hoping that we could find a way to work together to find what other solutions might be available other than just closing the school, because it's a very valuable resource that affects so many families, especially as the only Title I school in the city.
Very good. Thank you very much. If I could maybe help, I think there's another comment on Cherry Creek. This is not from the city. The city didn't do any of this. So this is all school district and their assessment of where students are, how many students are in the different schools and whatnot. John Penrod's been involved in the conversations with him, but I think if there's a perception out there that the city had anything to do with it, going to the city or to the school district and asking for the school, the answer is no. And I'm happy to put that on the record. So,
Mayor, if I may.
yeah.
There was an email that I got that pointed out that we had been negotiating with the school district about Cherry Creek. I think there was some confusion about the historic gym, which we have talked about, but not the school itself.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
And so I think maybe there was some confusion about that.
Oh, yeah. And that is accurate. Over, years.
Years.
There's been conversation about whether they had an interest in selling the gym or not, and so that's gone on for quite some time, which obviously it never happened. So
there is an agenda item tonight, so there will be some more discussion about that with a presentation by Mr. Penrod. So even with the public comment, I would encourage people to stick around.
Okay, very good. Okay, Brittany Knutson.
Hello. I am also here to talk about Cherry Creek, kind of from a city angle. The impression I got, and from talking with school faculty and parents, is that Cherry Creek was chosen because of the city's proposed interest in the school property. That they could, instead of leaving another school vacant, Cherry Creek they'd at least be able to offload and make some cash on because of the city's interest. And so that's why I wanted to come and ask to consider this purchase very, very carefully. Cherry Creek means a lot. We actually just moved here from Florida, and my kids were so sad to leave. But they immediately felt at home, welcomed, connected to resources so quickly at Cherry Creek. I was looking at the state report cards for the schools in this area, and Cherry Creek actually exceeds in every category. Whereas the schools that my kids would go to if it were closed one of them is below average in every category, and they've both been targeted for additional support. And so this is a big deal for us. And I am aware, I believe that the PTA has already cleaned out the whole basement of the gym so that the city could use it for storage, with this intended purchase in mind of the gym. And so I was wondering if the entire school versus just the gym, if they could be considered separately, and the pros and cons of that could be evaluated.
Thank you. If you'll stick around, all of us are going to learn something. So, all right. Spencer Warren.
Hello, my name is Spencer Warren. I am here as a Springville resident, but also on behalf of the Clyde Companies and the Springville Rising Project to thank you for your support and to give you a little piece of the Allen's grocery carts. I wish I had one for the whole city staff, but I've only got enough for the city council and the mayor. So I'll come give these to you if that's all right.
But that's because we're the only ones that took sledgehammers to the building.
Thank you.
And by the way, I broke my toe that day.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I know why construction people now wear steel-toe shoes.
I pushed a lot of these carts back in the day, so this means a lot.
That's good. I'm glad.
I worked as a bag boy at Allen Super
Did you
Save.
really?
I did. That's right. So this means more to me than anybody else. Maybe Logan too. So.
You and Logan
Allen's boys together.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you very much. We appreciate your support. The Clyde Companies does, the Springville Rising Project does. We look forward to executing the rest of it together. So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Spencer.
We're also looking forward to having some good things happen on that corner, so thank you. Yep. I know we're crammed with time, but I have to tell this fast story is about a bag boy. So here I am as a 16-year-old, and I bagged all these groceries up, and I asked the lady, I said, well, can I take them out to your car? And she says, sure. And she had a little, like a 2-year-old with her. And so he was just mesmerized by me. And, you know, a 16-year-old, a 2-year-old, I was in hog heaven. I was showing him how to work, you know, so he jumped in the cart and we hauled out the 5 or 6 bags and went out to the car. She told me where it was and we went out there. And the little boy jumped in the back and watched me load it in the car. Loaded all the bags in the car. And if you put bags in a car, you always slam the door really hard because some doors were easy, some doors were bad. So I slammed the door and it didn't shut. So I opened it up and I really slammed it. And it was about that time the little boy went, ah! Oh, no. And I looked and he was holding onto the post and I had slammed his fingers in this door. And I was mortified. I immediately opened it up, and I saw what I had done to that poor boy, and he had a triple set of knuckles across there from the crease. And I ran in there, and the mom goes, he'll be all right. And I guess he was. I didn't see that we'd broken any fingers, but yeah, terrible, terrible, terrible. So there you go. I never saw them down that store again, but... Okay, we have the consent agenda. The council's had an opportunity to read the consent agenda. It has a number of items on here. Is there anything that we need to pull off the consent agenda and have a discussion on? Okay, if not, then I'll entertain a motion for a motion.
I move that we accept the consent agenda.
Okay, I have a motion.
I will second that.
Okay, that's a motion and a second. Are there any resolutions? That's a roll call vote, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Okay, so roll call vote. Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, John, you're on for Cherry Creek. Maybe you want to give a little history and
Yes.
kind of back up a little bit. So.
I will. Thank you, Mayor and council members. I do apologize for stepping in here a little bit late. I was actually on the phone with Reed Park, who's the attorney over at the school district. So he gave me some information that may be of interest to people here tonight, and I'll get to that in just a minute. If I can find where I am here. So, as everybody knows, we are talking about Cherry Creek Elementary School, and this is a wonderful school. Things have been said tonight, I would echo. My oldest child went to this school, and I just thought it was a great school. In fact, some of us here went to at least a portion of the school when it was middle school, and we have many fond memories of this property. It's been a great property for the city as a whole, and I'm going to go into some history to talk about what has happened on this property and how this has been a property of education and enrichment and art and just a great property. It's been part of the soul of our city, and it's pretty amazing. What we're talking about is all of the property. If you look at this map, you see a bunch of lines that are in yellow. Each one of these lines contains a parcel in it. And this block is a mess, as you can see there. If you look over here in the upper left-hand corner of the map, or the picture before you, that's the art museum. That's what the city owns. And so the city doesn't even own the parking lot. One thing that was mentioned is that we, meaning the city, has been interested in this gym. It's a historic gym, wonderful gym when it comes to history, and right now it's not in the best shape, but I think anybody that thinks about this gym, you can almost smell it because you've been inside and you've had kids play on it, or you've played on it, or whatever, and you know what's happening in that gym because many of us have used that gym often. So a brief history of how we've gotten to this point on the city side is right now our museum has been in place. It's been there since the 1930s, and it is needing some more room. I mean, right now, the art storage, for instance, has been in place since the 1930s. I mean, we have a lot of things in the museum that need to be updated, and a few things like that. We also need, as the city has expanded, we've looked to expand the art city, or to expand the art museum to keep up with population, so it services the city just like it did when it was first built. And so we were talking to the school district about this facility, about the gym. We also have a rec department that is needing some place to go. And so as we were talking to about the gym, they came to us later and just said, hey, we're looking at the numbers. The numbers in the schools for elementary are going down, and they have gone down quite significantly. Would you be interested in the Cherry Creek School as a whole? And so we thought about that, and we came back and said, yeah, we use 2 of the gyms. We need the parking lot. It's an opportunity to have a wonderful community center, all those different things. And so, yeah, if the study shows that you do need to close it down, then yes, we would be very interested in picking it up, because it's an opportunity for the city to allow this to continue to be a place that residents can use, and also help us with some of the services that we're in need of more space for. And so as I go through this, and I do apologize, I do have a lot of slides. A lot of them are pictures, though, so hopefully that helps. First off, what Nebo School District recently did is they passed a resolution to study whether Cherry Creek Elementary should be closed, and there's a pretty big process for that. And I'm going to show, the next slide is going to show kind of where you can go and find out about the study and be a part of it. And I haven't even had a chance. That's what Mr. Park was showing me right before I came down here. And the second thing they did in that resolution is declare the Cherry Creek property surplus property contingent on it being closed. So if the study shows it shouldn't be closed, it's not surplus property, and the city would then probably go to them and talk more about the old historic gym. One of the things that they shared recently in their board meeting over at the school district is the enrollment for K through 5 grades has declined significantly here in Springville. Even with Cherry Creek, if they were to pull it offline, they still would only be about 76% full, and they would have about 180 or 165 seats available for students.
That's in the other schools.
Yeah, that's in the other schools, and that's without Cherry Creek. With Cherry Creek, I don't know what those numbers would be, but that would also add. In fact, I think Cherry Creek has a capacity around 700 to 800 because of the size of the school itself.
Hey, John, what do they consider, say, 100% full? What's the classroom size at 100% full? Do you know? I was at that meeting. They didn't reference that, but
they did not, and I don't know what. I would assume they just follow the same standard of classroom sizes, but I don't know what that means to kind of show you what a school of 100% would that be if they were all 100%. So I think there's some good questions as they go through this study that hopefully will be answered. Okay. So tonight, the main question before the council is, should Springville City declare its intent to purchase the Cherry Creek property should the study show that it should be closed? And so that's really what the question is before you tonight, and what the resolution is before you tonight. And this right here, if you go to the Nebo School website, I probably could have just cut and pasted the link, but since I put a lot of pictures, I thought I'd put more. So if you go to the main page of the Nebo School District website, you'll see pictures that look like this, but this right here is a button you can push that will take you to school closure study, and then this page will pop up and you can see Cherry Creek Elementary right there. So you can see what's going on with the Cherry Creek Elementary School study. It also gives some potential timelines and some realignment timelines. So potential timelines for studying the closure, and then realignment timelines for realigning the boundary. So that's just something that's out there, and I just was made aware of it right before this meeting. Now, history-wise.
So let me
yes.
back up.
Let me go back to it.
So with the people that came here tonight, where is it that they also can go to voice their concerns? I see that there are some meetings here for them to attend.
There are, yes.
But is there a board of education, board of Nebo School District in which they can go to and have a discussion with people face to
I
face?
think that's a great question. I would assume you could go to the board meeting and possibly give
Have
a
a public
comment.
comment?
Just like we had this in this meeting. I don't know 100%. I do think if you go to these resources, I have seen a page where you can give a written comment, and I think it's on these. I'm not 100% because, like I said, I just barely got this right before I came here. But I believe there's a question and answer page, and then also the ability to give a written comment by going into these documents.
Yeah, and if I was you, if I was in your shoes and had an interest in Cherry Creek, and I would make a phone call over there and see if there's an avenue by which you can make public comment. Most public meetings, which those are, have opportunities for people to have public comment. So I would just encourage you to.
It looks like on there that October 2026, it's not a specific date yet, there'll be a hearing at Cherry Creek Elementary. There'll be a notice that comes out in September, and then the board will take action in December of 2026, which is also a public meeting.
And so that's here in these dates right here. I just didn't know if people might be looking to provide comments before then.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
We do have a school board member here we could ask.
Oh, there we go. I hate to put you on the spot, but is there? Very good. Thank you for being here.
Do you mind if I just kind of repeat that in summary for anyone watching on the live stream, because I know it's hard to hear the seats. Basically, just use these links that are on the screen to get your comments to the board members. They will receive them via those comment links.
Very good. Thank you. I'm going to go through these next few slides pretty quickly. I just want to give you a history of how important this block has been to Springville. This right here is an old school. It's the Washington School. The reason why I bring this up, this was never on the block. However, in 1902, the Springville School of Trustees, so Nebo School District wasn't around at that time, they voted to have a high school. And it was the first accredited high school in Utah County. And they actually held high school in the attic of this building, which is the old Washington School. It's about a block away from where the first high school was built. This right here kind of shows the history of the block and what happened. So in 1909, the first high school was built. Then shortly after that, they added onto it with a second building. Now, these two buildings housed both junior high and high school in it. And then you can see in 1927, they even added a further addition. Cool thing about this building, and I just learned this in the last couple of days as I've been looking at the history, there was a swimming pool in the basement along with a gym. I didn't know that. I'm coming to the party on that one. So it's kind of fun to hear about that. When the addition was built here, the church did build the first seminary building in Springville over here, this 1927. Then this right here is referred to, this building that was built in 1930, as the Mechanical Arts Building. And so that's where they did wood shop, but they added the word arts to it, so it's kind of cool. And then in 1937, that's when the museum was built. It was built with as a WPA project. 1939, that's when the gym was built, and it was also built by a WPA project. These two facilities, the designer designed both of them, the architect did, and so that's kind of the history of this block. Then what happened was in 1967, 68, they built a new high school. Well, first they built the new junior high, which it was just east of Memorial Park, so they took those students away. Then they built a new high school in 1967 and 68 is the first class that graduated from there to where the current high school is. And then this is what this building looked like in 1979. It was continued to be used as a middle school, but then it became dilapidated and they knocked it down in 1979. That same year, this right here kind of shows you the full years, so about 70 years the high school was used there, and you can see it does say middle school at this point. But then in 1979, they built the new middle school that many of us went to. You can still see the old high school track there. Here's the art museum, and here's the old gym. So this property has served our community well throughout the years. It's had every grade of education. It's had the arts here. It's had a lot of recreation here. Our recreation programs have utilized these gyms throughout the years. It's just really served us well. And here's what it currently looks like, because in 2000, I believe it was 6, they added on, and then it became the Cherry Creek Elementary School. So why would we be interested in it? And this right here kind of shows, hey, we're still in the planning stages of looking at all this. We have ideas, we know what we need as a school, but we haven't really done, our school as a city, but we haven't really done a whole lot of planning, because this is all coming about pretty quickly, and it is very sad to see the school go, but it also too, it's an opportunity. I mean, it's an opportunity to see a nice community center there as well. And so it is, like I said, this whole block's been used by a lot of people in my family, and so I have some very fondness of it as a school, and you always hate to see a school close, but if you can transition it and still have it be part of the community, this would be the best option if it does close. But again, we're looking to do a community center. We need some art museum. We have parking lot. We would like to preserve the historical buildings that are there. We have all kinds of different ideas. We do need some gym space still, but you can kind of see there's a lot that could happen with this as a community center. So again, if the study does show that it's going to be closed, it is an opportunity to continue to use this block for a lot of things for our community and continue with the educational type fill. We can do all kinds of things that are educational-wise with the arts, to continue with the arts, and just move forward with a lot of recreation and other things that a community center brings. Also, too, there's some green space there. It'd be nice to continue with that, with the playgrounds, things that way. So again, the resolution's to declare intent to purchase. It's to tell us as staff to do our studies, bring back recommendations, and if this does move forward, bring back an agreement to finalize it. And so again, just in closing from staff's perspective, you never want to see a school close, but if a school does have to close, and if this is one we can really use to continue to serve our community, it looks like a good opportunity for serving the community with a community center. Any
Can I
questions
ask,
for me?
John, would the declaration of intent be because cities have a right of first refusal, kind of a first dibs on school properties when they close?
That is correct. So what the school district does is they send out a 90-day notice, and so since they did this last Wednesday, they've sent us that notice, and so we have 90 days to declare our intent. So that's what's before you tonight, and then a process starts. Now, if nobody declares intent within 90 days, then they can open it up and sell it to a developer or somebody that way. And so what this does is if they are going to close a school, this does allow the city to pick it up and to utilize it. It is in a great location for the city to utilize since we already have the art museum there. We've already been using these gyms with our rec program. It is kind of in the heart of the city in a way. It is also part of our art loops, a lot of different things that it does work out well for the city, but at the same time, you're always pretty careful when it comes to closing a school.
Thank you. And from my vantage point is that the thing that's always bothered me is the parking lot for the art museum. I mean, it's on school property, and you know, we've had just an incredible relationship between cities and the school district, unusually good. It's just been, you know, everybody's just gotten along really well, and it's been very, very healthy. If that were to ever change, heaven forbid, it would cause us an awful lot of problems. So that's always been a worry of mine, and so.
Well, and that's something too to bring up. Even if this were to switch hands to the city, we work hand in hand with the school district to utilize each other's facilities. The city would still be responsible at that point if it did come to the city to maintain it, to make sure that we do operate it. But the school district could still come in and they could still have classes in here and other things. I mean, it wouldn't be a normal school, but if they ever have after-school classes or something that way, they would come in. They use our museum for dances and other things that way. So we work hand in hand with all the different facilities we have.
Yeah. Okay, other questions for John?
So this resolution, just to make sure we're all on the same page, we're just saying if this process happens, if the school board makes this decision, then we are interested. It's not a binding agreement of we want it, therefore you will close it.
Yes, that is correct. So the way the process works is we declare our intent to purchase, but we'd have to come back with an agreement, we'd have to come back with all kinds of things. And the way that the board has set it up is the surplus property is not really surplus property unless they close the facility. And so they still have to go through all their studies as well. We have spoken to the school about it. It's a great facility, but we don't know if it's a good facility too. So we still need to do some due diligence on our side to make sure it's a facility that's not going to cost us more money than a purchase price and things like that. So we still have a lot to do on our side.
I'm not very familiar with how a school closure study works. To the point of one of the comments from the public, does our intent to purchase, our declaration of intent, have bearing on that study?
Not at all. No,
Okay.
it's two separate things. So that's a great question. So we do declare intent, and if we didn't, then somebody else could come in technically and purchase it. The school district would still have to agree to that purchase, but they wouldn't hold on to a property and just let it lose money. I think we all saw a school over in Spanish Fork at one point that they held on and it just became dilapidated until finally they could get rid of it to some developer. I'm not trying to say that as a scare tactic. I'm just saying that they wouldn't hold on to it. They probably would try to get rid of it in some fashion. Now, this is a school that is a great location for us to utilize. I think a comment was made to kind of that type of idea, whereas if it was another school, it would be harder for us to utilize. But we're already sharing grounds. We already have a building across the street and a few things like that that the city owns. It has been part of the soul of the city for so long with the schools that have been there, with the art museum, with rec, everything else, that it does work well for the city, but really the school district needs to do their part on the study to determine whether it should be closed or not.
According to the school board meeting that a few of us attended the other night, the district has done some preliminary studies. This isn't just coming out of the blue. So there's been a lot of studies about this, and as you've mentioned, more to come. But this isn't just something off the top of their heads that they decided to close the building. The studies have gone on for some time.
Yeah, yes. A study particularly just to close this they still have studies to do, but They have gone through and looked at all the enrollment. Even on this school, the enrollment today is about what it was back in the 1990s. And now there's reason for that because it did spike with a couple different things that happened, but it has dropped significantly to where today there's about 350 students, if I remember the numbers right.
Less than that.
It was less than 350?
Yeah, I think
And
so.
I think you could have almost over 800 students in this school. So it kind of spiked and then it came back down, but we're below the numbers in the 1980s. The enrollment in this school is below the numbers in the 1990s. I apologize.
Okay, other questions of John?
There's no parcel line on the northeast corner. What is the island of nothingness there?
You-
Is that part of?
You have a lot, whoever buys it has got a massive boundary
Yeah.
to do boundary line agreements.
So,
But one person owns all of them except for
yeah, so
what you're identifying.
the school technically owns this as well. Even though you don't see a boundary there, they do own it. So all the different things that we hold on the grass, like the Children's Art Festival and other things that we've done for events, we've technically been using school property all this time. And there isn't one parking stall that's not owned by the school district for the art museum. So we have had a great relationship back and forth.
Okay, very good. Comments, questions? Okay, would you like a discussion on it? Do you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-8, declaring Springville City's intent to purchase the Cherry Creek Elementary School property pursuant to sections 53G-4-901 and subsequent sections of the Utah Code and the Nebo School District's board resolution adopted on March 11, 2026, declaring the Cherry Creek Elementary School property surplus.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, it's a roll call vote. Jake?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. Well, just keep us up to date and stay in tune with it. Again, if I was in your shoes, I'd make a phone call over and have the opportunity to have your voice be heard. That's very important. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for being here. And we appreciate your service, by the way. Thank you for all that you do. All righty. Jason, I think you're on.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. It's nice to be with you again. A couple weeks ago, we discussed the amended and restated power pooling agreement for UAMPS, and I'm here with you tonight to request your approval of a resolution that would allow us to enter into that agreement, that amended agreement. So really, I'm here. We've already been through just the slides, which I brought again, but I'm really here to answer any questions you may have or address any concerns about that since our initial discussion. Again, we are part of UAMPS, and UAMPS, because of the nature of the market they'll be entering in the form of the extended day-ahead energy market, EDAM, because of that, the relationship between us and UAMPS in that marketplace needs to evolve. And so originally the pooling agreement was set up back in 1980, and it was set up to have in place a mechanism for different entities that are members of UAMPS to trade power and ensure that everybody had their needs and requirements met. The amended and restated pooling agreement, which is dated for this year, supports participation in organized wholesale markets, which is different, and that's really going along concurrently with what has to happen with EDAM. So again, some things we mentioned before, talked about, just annual purchase plans, required load and resource forecasts, and sufficiency obligations where we have to first estimate in conjunction with UAMPS what our resource requirements will be for a given year, but to make sure we meet those. So really, if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer those, but this picture, this diagram really shows the difference. The bilateral environment is what we're in currently. Once we enter EDAM through UAMPS, which is really the participant in EDAM, the centralized market environment just completely changes the nature of that relationship, and so the agreement has to evolve. Are there any questions or comments or concerns?
What was, maybe Logan can respond to this, and Mike, how was the utility board on this? I read something that they didn't vote because they didn't have a choice, or what? Did I misread that, or?
They felt that there
Well,
were alternatives.
yeah, there isn't a choice.
Yeah.
We have to do this.
So because we get our power, a lot of our power comes along the transmission lines through Rocky Mountain Power.
Right.
And Rocky Mountain Power is part of Pacificor. Pacificor is joining this new regional organization for Western Energy. And so they're kind of just pulling everyone who uses their transmission lines along through into this extended day-ahead market. So we had some discussion, but ultimately, Springville, any members, cities of UAMPS don't really have a choice to join this extended day-ahead market. And it's the whole western portion of the United States. And most of the other parts of the United States are already part of these larger extended day-ahead markets. This is just, for a long time, the West has kind of been this patchwork of different islands. You can correct me if I'm wrong, Jason.
Well put.
But it has the potential, I think, even though we don't have a choice, it has the potential to save us money in the long term. Because if we're smart in the resources that we invest in, then when power is really expensive in places like California, we can basically be selling power at our cheap, we're getting a cheap rate on what we've built, but we're selling it at a higher price to other places.
Okay.
The promise, the promise in the sky, in quotes, is that I guess the hope and promise is that ultimately these will save cost for all the entities involved within these marketplaces. It just allows it to be more efficient, a mechanism to operate it in a coordinated fashion through CAISO ultimately. So.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like we're over a barrel. We're not, because we could jump out of UAMPS and generate our own power, but the cost of that is ridiculous. We have a generating facility, but it's not enough to supply power for the whole city.
So that basic is we have no good alternative.
Correct.
Yes, that's a good way of stating it.
All right.
It's to Logan's point in your original question, Mayor, it was just an informational presentation, kind of like it was 2 weeks ago when we discussed it in work session. There really isn't a good alternative. The thing with UAMPS is because we've already invested through all the project structures that they have, that's how we procure our power. Even if we were to leave UAMPS as an entity, we would still be tied by all those projects. And so unless we had to bring on, a great deal of additional power that we could source elsewhere, it's like we're really tied at the hip just because of the nature of our relationship.
Okay.
So it is what it is.
Okay, other questions for Jason?
So really, it should be business as usual as far as the consumer's concerned. We don't anticipate a spike in power rates based on going to this initially.
There shouldn't be. There will be some initial cost to become compliant with this new system and this new market structure. I think we're seeing that already being mentioned or kind of whispers about that happening with some of our sister organization. It's also happening within ours. They had to staff up and they had to bring in teams that can trade and work within this market environment. A lot more compliance, a lot of data, and all those things will be. So yes, I would say the costs are going to increase for the whole organization, all the participants within the organization. But generally, no, it should not impact, consumer rates, which are driven really by how we set them here within our city. There's no direct impact to those, other than the cost may be increasing for our power procurement over time. So, but again, the hope is that this will offset and it will bring cheaper power for everybody by having a centralized marketplace.
Okay. No other questions? Interest in making a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2026-09 for Springville City to enter into the amended and restated power pooling agreement with the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems.
I will second that.
Okay, that's a roll call vote. Karen?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jason. All right, Brad. You know, this is the last time he did this, didn't he?
He did.
He didn't show up, and Jeff ended up doing it.
Well, this one, Jake and Brad both had a conference attending, so I'm well versed in transportation. I am become versed in storm drain and water reclamation. But what is first on the agenda? Storm drain?
First on the agenda is storm drain. Yep.
Okay, we'll jump to that one. Slideshow.
Storm drain, wastewater, and then transportation.
Okay. So the storm drain. Storm drain.
I'm sorry,
Storm water.
Stormwater impact fee facilities plan and IFA update. This is not a full-blown master plan update. It is simply an update to the impact fees and due to inflationary increase to try to keep up with construction costs. We've been tasked to do this to make sure we are accurate in our growth projections. We update capital projects, verify scope, adjust costs with inflation and spikes there, and then reevaluate the impact fee eligible costs and recalculate the impact fee. Hopefully to overall keep minor steps in the impact fees instead of seeing these monster increases. The home builders are much more on board with small incremental increases. As we looked at things, there's a little bit of a shift in this go round in storm drain in level of service and the way we implemented this. Baseline storm drain size out there to convey level of service of a 10-year storm, 10-year 3-hour storm is a 15-inch pipe. Beyond that, we look at upsizing, and we participate in that upsizing for more regional events. Instead of just saying, I'm going to take care of my road and that's it. If we bring a trunk main down through, we look at percentages of capacity that it can convey above what a 15-inch can do. Similar to what we did with PI, and we're looking at lot size. We assess impact fees for storm drain based on impervious surface. So everything hardscape, the concrete, the driveway, the house itself, everything that is going to hit, water's going to hit and run off, that's what we're going to assess the impact fee there. It's the inverse for PI. Everything that would soak water up or take water is vegetated. So we've done a similar lot size analysis, bin size. The standard ERU for storm drain is roughly a 9,000 square foot lot, has approximately 3,800 square feet of impervious area. So on that 9,000 square feet, 3,800 of it is going to be house, concrete, shed, whatever. And we set that as our baseline and then go up and down with a ratio comparative for depending on how big the lot is. And we've kept these bins the same for PI, storm drain throughout. This is kind of the summary of things. The real focus we want to look at is this just tells the projects that we have. 16 South Betterment, we are going to run a PI line the entire length of 1600 South. Because UDOT is coming in and putting in that road, we wanted to make sure the infrastructure was in there as well. That's forced our hand a bit. And so you can see for a $2.4 million project, about $700,000 is impact fee eligible. So a little ahead of growth, but we're going to get that back as impact fees come through. So it looks at, takes into account the impact fee percentage, how much we can charge, and then gives us the dollar amounts to go forward with. So the long and short of it, we have a current impact fee of $28.08 with the new analysis of level of service and going into lot sizes. We've come up actually with a decrease in the impact fee to $27.70 per ERU, about 72 cents per square foot. So that is the proposed impact fee. It will basically escalate from there on
looking at 26, 27. We'll adjust this as we go each year, but we're looking at just the 2026 of 2,770 per ERU, or about 72 cents per square foot. And this just shows you where we stand in relation in the county. We are great in water. We have water coming out our ears. Unfortunately, we have so much water we can't put it back in the ground. We have to take it all the way over to the lake. So we have a very expensive storm drain system to take all the water from the east side and the west side where it's very flat and get it into the lake. It's a costly system to put together. Any questions?
Okay, questions for Jeff?
Is that system connected to either of the municipalities that border us?
I don't believe, we might share, take a little bit from a road here or there, but no, they have their independent storm drain system, and as do we. For the most part, Mapleton on the hill puts it right back into the ground. They do a lot of percolation, and we can dig and hit water, and it doesn't want to go back into the ground.
Some of the drainage structures, though, do take water from like Spanish Fork.
That is, so some of the conveyances, Dry Creek, for example, is one we share with Spanish Fork. It's depending on who you talk to, a state or irrigation facility, but we drain to that, and that is one of the major outlets to the lake, and Spanish Fork does, some of the north side of Spanish Fork does drain into that. But that is oversight with either the state or the drainage district.
Okay, questions for Jeff? I think it's important for people to know that this is one impact fee, and we not only look at this, but we also look at the overall total impact fee and how we position ourselves with the county. So
yeah, we may be the highest, one of the highest in the county on storm drain, but we're down below the average on several others.
Yeah. Okay, I'll entertain a motion then.
I move to approve ordinance not. Pause on that
We
motion.
do. Okay, it looks like that's going to happen more than once. Okay, sorry about that.
Let me change my motion.
Okay, yes, hold on. So we'll open it up for anybody in the public who would like to talk in relationship to the stormwater impact fee. Anyone?
Seeing as there's no one willing to talk about this, I move that we close the public hearing.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Now I'll entertain a motion.
And now I will move to approve ordinance number 8-2026, adopting the 2026 Springville City Storm Drain Impact Fee Facilities Plan and the Storm Drain Impact Fee Analysis, and enacting storm drain impact fees.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it's a roll call vote. Logan?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay, you're still on. Now to wastewater.
All right. Okay, to start this out, one thing I neglected to share is this has been through, as you can see, the utility board meeting with a positive recommendation to move this forward. It did go to Planning Commission December 9th with a formal recommendation for approval to the City Council. We have, in a little bit more detail, taken this to you guys previously in a work session, and now tonight we're here for adoption. So that just kind of memorializes the process. It's somewhat laborious, but it's definitely had many eyes and many ears on this, and a lot of input. So the water reclamation facility, again, not a full-blown master plan update, just impact fee and IFA. Again, we look at confirmed growth, update capital projects, determine impact fee eligible costs, and then look at the impact fee. So this one is just the past improvements for impact fee summary. We've got the initial plant, the 2010 upgrade, and then post-2010 upgrades. All of those, they're still eligible, impact fee eligible amounts. The original plant, so this one will disappear as soon as we hit about 22,000 ERUs coming into the plant. That one will go away, but I'll have to say they're getting quite the deal, developers, and buying in capacity into this plant when they're paying original costs and even 2010 costs So there's a capacity that is still being bought into there. Then we look at capital projects coming up. These are ones that actually are underway. The Headworks upgrade, we're about 30 weeks, I believe, out from equipment showing up on site, but it's a pretty substantial upgrade to the Headworks to allow more sewage as we come in, to increase our capacity and screening capabilities there. So we look at the impact fee projects to help us expand beyond this time frame, and they've broken it down and put that portion of it in there. So combine those past projects, the buy-in component, the new projects, and planning component, it comes to a total of $17,434 as an impact fee summary. Our current one is $16.58, so a slight escalation due to costs and everything, inflationary increases there, but again, minor steps to help us keep up with things there. And again, here we are looking at collection and treatment combined. Current, we're at about $28.85. Proposed would be $31.37, combining the collection one, which has already been adopted, and the treatment one, a portion at $17.14. It's about an 8% total increase there, and you can see where we are in the county average. We have made a 19-something treatment plant. We're getting about every ounce of dollar and work we can out of it. Most cities around.
Keep going, guys.
Yeah, and we've got our treatment guys back here, collection and treatment guys. They've been doing an amazing job keeping that running and keeping us out of a $100 million bond to upgrade facilities like most of the cities around us have done. So, any questions?
Okay, I'll open it up for public comment. If anyone would like to make a comment in relationship to this impact fee on the wastewater treatment facility. Okay,
Seeing no one coming forward, I motion we close the public hearing.
Second.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 09-2026, adopting the 2026 Springville City Water Reclamation Facility Impact Fee, Facility Impact Fee, Facility Plan, and Impact Fee Analysis, and enacting water reclamation facility impact fees.
I will second that.
Okay, roll call vote. Mike?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Very good. You're still up.
Last
Transportation.
one. Last one, I promise.
And by the way, while he's pulling this up, I just invite anybody to go down to the wastewater treatment plant. I've been down there a couple times, and it is amazing what happens. You as a citizen, I go to grade schools and I ask them, "What does the city do?" And they don't know. And I said, "Well, what do you do in the morning?" And they say, "We go take a shower." I say, "Yeah, where's the water go?" "Oh, I don't know." You know, what do you do when you get in the bathroom? Oh, flip the light on. Are you sure it's going to go on? They don't, they don't think about these kinds of things. And so I just really encourage anybody to go down and take a look at what they do down there. It's just an incredible facility and great workmen, and it's great. So anyway.
And while they're there, they could go to the power department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
It's always fun the power days, they put hot dogs in a mannequin and sizzle those up. So. All right, last update, IFFP, IFA, and then we'll be done for the year. So we'll get these enacted for the upcoming fiscal year. Once again, showing transportation didn't have to go to utility board, but it did go to planning commission with a recommended approval. City council work session, thorough discussion there, and then we're tonight here for adoption. Once again, the why we are coming forward with these updates and do them on an annual basis. So the existing impact fee eligible costs, we look at roads that have been built that have excess capacity, that aren't meeting their full capacity. So there are still buy-in components there to the tune of about $600,000 within that 6-year window that we're looking at, or 10-year window. Sorry, impact fees projects over the 10 years. We look at streets and a sizable amount of streets or roads that we're looking at to the tune of about $7 million in impact fee eligible costs. And then we also look at intersection improvements, enhancements there, and we're looking at about 20 million there. Some of these are outside of Springville's jurisdiction, but within. So 1600 South, you'll see numerous intersections down there. That is all in conjunction with the UDOT project going on. So with looking at buy-in costs, again, at new construction costs, consultant fees for the update, and then taking some credits back for fund balance, the total cost per trip, and this is, again, it gets a little convoluted in how we do this, is $3,210.19 per PM peak trip. Our current one is $3109.83. So trips are defined in different ways. The trip generation manual, the ITE trip generation manual, which we use to enact and put in place our impact fees, assess them, they look at it as point A to point B as 2 trips. Whereas our model says when you go from point A to point B, we count that as a single trip. So we have to adjust somewhat the model or the count trips that we have. So for example, single family home, I'll zoom in on that one. The ITE trip generation manual, which we utilize, says it's a single family home has about 1.9 trips in the PM peak hour. But again, that's saying it's, you leave your driveway and go to work, that's 2 trips. So we cut that in half. So for our assessment, we'd look at it as 0.47, half of 0.94, and then we'd multiply that by the PM peak trip, and we'd get $1,500 instead of $32. So we have this entire sheet in the impact fee, the IFA document, for typical uses. There never is one document to rule them all. There's always some things we have to manipulate. I don't think anybody would ever suspect what a Buc-ee's would be. There wouldn't be anything defining what a Buc-ee's is in here. They talk about a gas station with a convenience store, but they never envisioned 120 pumps and 80,000 square feet of retail. So we have to take this and be able to modify it as needed, but this is a great tool. The ITE is a nationally recognized tool for land uses and the number of trips. They've done multiple studies on that. So comparison, single family home. Current one is $1,462. We've increased to $1,509, about a 3% increase. And again, that's where we sit in the county average. Any questions?
Can I ask, when people are looking at that chart, that ITE chart of different trips for different businesses or homes, and it says, you know, a single family home costs $1,500 per year for a trip. So should they be thinking of like all the trips that home generates cost that much in damage to our roadways?
It's saying it's having that impact to our roadways, yes, and it's a one-time fee. It's not they're not paying this annually. This is from a home builder. If he's building a single-family home, they've broken that down on an annual basis for PM peak trips. This would be the impact, the amount of capacity they would need, how much road we would need to build for that single-family home.
Okay.
And yes, if cyclists or transit were to take over these, they could influence that study. But the way we've assessed it, based on a dwelling unit as the unit, this is a nationally.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be specific to Utah? No, this is more of a national
But that's
focus.
the important part there is construction of new roadway,
Yes.
not future maintenance or replacement of
Right.
the roadway.
Yeah.
That's important to delineate, yep.
And
The other-
these impact fees are only for new construction. This doesn't affect existing residences or anything
Correct.
like that. It's only for new construction, where roadways have to be put in, where sewer pipes have to be put in, where stormwater has to be put in. That's only for new construction.
Growth pays for growth. That's what the impact fee law is there for.
Yeah, we get a lot of residents worried about these impact fees, that it's affecting them, and they're already here. It doesn't.
It does not.
They're not paying for that. So I just wanted to make that clear for the for the benefit of those that are here and those that are listening online. Then
That's as long as the math is done right. That's why it's so important to have so many eyes on this.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, other questions for Jeff? Okay, I'll open this up for a public hearing. Anyone like to come forward and make a comment?
Seeing nobody approach, I motion that we close the
Okay.
public hearing.
Have a motion, second.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed.
I motion we approve ordinance number 10-2026, adopting the 2026 Springville City Transportation Impact Fee Facility Plan and Impact Fee Analysis, and enacting transportation impact fees.
Okay, I have a motion. I need a second.
Second.
Okay, it's a roll call vote. Jake?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Very good. Strangely enough, we have had people come up on public hearing to make a statement, so not tonight, but we have certainly had that happen, so. Okay, this gives everybody a chance. We start at 5 so people could have a chance to go to their caucus meeting. So is there anything else at all that needs to be brought up? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you.
I almost opposed it just for fun.
Because you wanted to
You'd have been outvoted.
Did you want to filibuster?
I was in the meeting.